Yo, Chiefs 05, Life and Love podcast. We back, man. We got a special podcast. This is an alumni podcast. But we got my girl Casey Jackson. She my co-host today. How you doing, Casey?
Hey Ryan, how are you this Saturday?
Man, I'm doing good, doing good. And also we got a very, very special guest. We have the current principal of Craigmont High School, Dr. Derek King. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. How y'all doing today?
Doing blessed, man. Doing blessed. Like I said, y'all, it's a special podcast today. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about. But like I said, we got Dr. King in the house today. This is an honor to have him, to have the new principal. Like, we've been out of school for 20 years, man. And, so to see a face like you my age, actually. How old are you, actually?
I
You don't mind
graduated in
sharing?
'06. No, I
Oh six,
graduated in '06. Yep.
oh six, cool. Okay, oh six, that's what's up, oh six. All right, so like I said, we this alumni podcast. I do want to, we do have a lot of people with us today. So, Casey, if you don't mind letting everybody know who we got today.
Absolutely. So, class of '05 and everybody that's watching, we do have a few familiar faces. All of us happen to be at Craigmont at the same time. And so, I will start with our first guest that will be joining us, and that's Tony Robinson. He's the class of 2006. And next up, we have Naket Battle. She's the class of 2004. And last but certainly not least, we have I don't think any of us knew him as Carl, but he has his official name on the show. So we are going to call him by his name, Mr. Carl Erskine Davis Jr. from the class of 2003. So welcome all of you all, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank y'all
Man,
good.
glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Glad to show the report, man.
Thank you, man. Like I said, man, this is a podcast from '05. Like I said, we got alumni here today, and the current principal, Dr. King. Our podcast is called Life and Love. It's a podcast where we reminisce, reconnect, and we try to rise together. So that's the whole purpose here. And we just thank y'all for joining us. And man, it's just been a blessing to have all this, going on. So, but I do want to ask Dr. King, to share with us, as far as like, introduce yourself, Dr. King.
Oh man, sorry about the voice. I'm here in New Orleans. I've been traveling with the band this weekend down at the Bayou Classic, so a lot of yelling and screaming. So the voice is kind of in and out. But nevertheless, I am Derek King. I am the principal at Craigmont High School. I am from Birmingham, Alabama, actually. Got to Memphis because I went to Rhodes College. So I went to Rhodes College, played baseball and football there, majored in psychology, and actually got into education because of the former principal at Craigmont, Dr. Walters, who was a Rhodes alum. And I was volunteering at the Memphis Grizzlies Academy with her. She and Dr. Dorsey were there. And so my experience there led me to actually teaching English in the summer school where Dr. Walters was principal. And that led me to pursuing education. I went to Ole Miss, did Mississippi Teacher Corps down there. So I started my career in Mississippi teaching and coaching. Um, Taught middle school 1 year, high school a bunch of years, did admin down there, and then came to Memphis. And then I did my master's specialist and doctorate at Ole Miss, and then came to Memphis Shelby County Schools, was at Southwind High School, then at Ridgeway. And then it's officially been a year since I've moved over to Craigmont. I moved over right around Thanksgiving break last year, and I became interim principal in January. So it's a lot has happened in a year, but I'm glad. I think I'm in the right place.
Glad to have you, man. We're glad to have you at Craigmont High School. So, man, I would do
Absolutely.
want each. My bad, Case. You got it? I'm sorry, Case.
So, Dr. King, thank you so much for joining us today. And just as alumni, we want to start by sharing with you just what Craigmont means to us, and also like how Craigmont is a part of our journey. And so we are going to start with our elder. So we're going to start with the class of '03, and we're going to work through with just us sharing with you just what Craigmont means to us and how it shaped our
Yeah.
journey.
Oh man, not the old head, not the elder title.
Yes,
Lord,
sir.
no, but For real, Craigmont, I think everybody knows, my journey with Craigmont. Craigmont means the world to me. I went there from 7th to 12th grade when we were all in one building and not separated with a middle school and a high school. So, and Craigmont was a choice. Like I wasn't in the school district. Like I was actually district to be at Tresvant High School. But I'm the youngest of 4 children, and none of my siblings made it out of Tresvant. So I was the first one to graduate. So my parents were like, nah, we're not going to go Tresvant. We're going to go another route. And so Craigmont was my choice. And it was one of the best choices I made. Like Craigmont definitely made me who I am. Like I think just the diversity that came with Craigmont and being able to intermingle with a variety of different people, a diverse group of people, just made me well-rounded and made me feel comfortable in any room I go in, whether it's Beale Street or Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel comfortable no matter where I am. And I think a lot of that is owed to Craigmont for shaping me into who I am.
That's what's up.
Thank you so much, Irk. Next, Niket.
So Craigmont means so much to me. And if you went to Craigmont, if you know, you know. Especially these classes that are here on this podcast today. We're right. So close as classes, and I love that for us. But Craigmont really shaped me into the person that I am today. I gained so much confidence at Craigmont. I gained so much knowledge at Craigmont. The education was ridiculously top tier. We're going to be a little honest right now. So I didn't go to Craigmont Middle School. I went to Snowden. And of course, you know, the people that went to Snowden matriculate to Central High School. So when we moved, I was livid. I was like, I'm gonna hate this school. I don't want to be. Literally, the minute I walked through the doors, I was good. One of the very first people I met at Craigmont, I am literally friends with to this day. And I graduated in 2004, and I was literally staying at her home for our college football game last month or month before last. And so those friendships, and though I'm friends with teachers from Craigmont on Facebook. I still communicate with these people. I still talk to these people, and honestly, people I haven't seen since I graduated. We still keep up with each other. We're still involved in each other's lives in some way or another. I'm sending people's children, cash apps for their birthdays. That's what Craigmont means to me, and that's how close we are. And that is that bond that you form at Craigmont. Craigmont taught me so much, and as much as I hated the fact that I was coming to Craigmont in 9th grade, I would have it no other way. I wouldn't change a thing. I love my school to death. I love it. And Dr. King, I love what you're doing. I love what Craigmont is doing and what it's becoming. I'm so excited and I'm so proud. I don't know what to do.
Amen.
Thank you, Niket. You weren't there the full years, but we welcomed you with open arms when you came.
Y'all did. That's why I love you guys.
Yeah. Neighborhood, Stage Park Meadow. What's up?
Period.
You already know what time. I guess when we go in order, I guess now he 06. I go 05 then, so
Okay, you go.
Let's go 03, 04, 05. But Craigmont for me, man, like I said, I grew up in moved to Raleigh back in 91. But so I went to school at the local school, Raleigh Barley Meadows, and Craigmont was the school, high school we was assigned to. So we went to Craigmont. It was 7th through 12th grade growing up. It wasn't the middle school yet. It was just 7th through 12th. So me and my sister, she was a 12th grader, Rosalind Nichols, and my brother Reggie, he's a 8th grader. So that right there was the greatest moment to have me and my brother and sister to go to school with, on a daily basis during them high school years. So we super tight. So that was like one of the best memories I had at Craigmont for us three to be there at the same time. So I know all her friends, I know all his friends. So that was just been part of my life story, just Craigmont High School. So like you said, it molded us who we are today. Raleigh's forever home still. I live in Bartlett, but my folks still stay in Raleigh. I still drive through the same. I still drive by every day. Like I said, so many memories, because, life is all about memories, and Craigmont is a very dear memory in our childhood, and you can never erase that. So, that's why I love Craigmont High School, everything from the band, my band days, And this whole process, what we're doing right now, reconnecting with our classmates, it's, man, everybody are just happy to, hear our voices, and, so it's good to know that everybody feel the same way about Craigmont High School. But like I say, I love Craigmont, so that's the thing for me.
Same for me. Like I've only went to 2 schools my whole life: Keystone kindergarten through 6th grade. Our students at Keystone, and then Craigmont 7th through 12th. I had an older sister. She was 4 years older, so she was already at Craigmont. I also had older cousins that graduated from Craigmont as well. My actual assigned school, based off my parents' neighborhood, they stayed in Forest Lakes. So it technically was Raleigh, Egypt, but the students that lived in Forest Lakes went to Craigmont. So I always knew I'm going to Craigmont. When I leave Keystone, I'm going to Craigmont. My experience at Craigmont was a little different because I was on a slightly different path. And so a lot of the people that I was in classes with, we were basically in the same class from 7th grade through 12th grade. So all of my interactions came just from authentic socialization, right? In the hallway, in the cafeteria, at games. I was a cheerleader, and just like everything about Craigmont prepared me for where I am today. I know we all at some point, most of us took Mr. Cook, right? He was crazy, but that man prepared us. Okay. Miss Brock, Coach Stevenson. I never had to take a social studies in college because I had all of my AP credits. Like when I graduated from Craigmont, I was a second semester freshman my first year because I already had 15 college credits because of Craigmont. So I know people say what they want to say about Craigmont, but everything about that school during the time that we were there, it really shaped us with where we are now and prepared us with our journeys. And so even when I was still with Memphis Shelby and we used to do the walkthroughs at Craigmont, every time whoever was with us, I was like, my picture is still on that wall in Craigmont with the class of 2005. Now, Dr. King, don't take those pictures down, okay? Because we like to come up there, see those pictures on the wall because it's just the sense of pride, the sense of family. When we run into each other, it's all love. Like last weekend, I ran into Erskine at an event and we buck jumped in the middle of the floor just on some Raleigh stuff, right? So I just Craigmont, Raleigh, it's in all of us. I know Tony gonna come back because he didn't grow up in Raleigh. He was a transplant. But everything about it, like even today, I get my hair done in Raleigh. I get my nails done in Raleigh. The girl that does my lashes, she went to Craigmont. Just like everything about Craigmont has really followed us, throughout our journeys. And so we're excited to be on with you today and to continue this. So we'll let Dr. Robinson close us out with this part before we move on.
Well, what's going on, y'all? So my journey is kind of similar to Erskine. I, of course, was a transfer out. It was a choice to go to Craigmont. I was supposed to be at West Side for my entirety because the West Side had a elementary all the way through 12th. So I was there at Craigmont, West Side. And actually, some of the teachers were like, nah, you need to go and get a bag here. Get him away from his friends. First, I went to East. I went to East for about a week. Hated it. Then I got to Craigmont, and I was like, okay, this is a good school. And stuck there. So I was the first class to graduate from the middle school. My 8th grade year was the first year they opened up the middle school. So I was 7th grade, I was with everybody, 7th through 12th, then 8th grade, went to the middle school, then to the high school from 9th through 12th. And I would say Craigmont prepared, I can say for me specifically, prepared me for college and for higher education. Like seriously, like you mentioned Mr. Cook. Dude he was tough, but he prepared us. And some of the other teachers, like you said, Miss Brock and all, I took them AP classes as well. So that the school definitely prepared us, and it had its different mixtures of students, to say the least. You had your AP honors, standard, and things and whatnot. So you can get to know people, like you said, during lunch, games, etc. And I played in the band for a minute. I wish I would have stayed in band. Deontay got me looking like, man, I should have kept that trumpet going. So I'm proud of the band and proud of what they're doing, and they're representing Craigmont well, representing Raleigh, representing the city of Memphis well. So.
Yes, sir. Facts. I feel the same way, Tony, about that trumpet. But my daughter playing trumpet right now. It's crazy. The note like she played trumpet. She's sixth grader. So I love to try to practice with her,
Mm,
try to show some things. But you got to get them chops right. You
you
can't be
gotta get them
blown.
chocolate. You gotta get
You can't
back
be
to
trying
it,
to teach
man.
nobody. You can't blow no more.
I still got one. I still got one. I'm
I
gonna have to
got
go and pull it out.
I got three of them, man. Three of them. They just sitting around the house. Well, she using one of them. But that's something Dr. King. Like I said, this is our alumni. Like I said, this everybody had a story about Craigmont. So we do want to know, like, what's your vision for Craigmont and your goals going forward.
All right, how much time y'all got?
Man, hey, look, we on your
Floor is
time.
yours.
No, man. It's first I didn't know that Casey went to Craigmont because Casey was, the person we called for math and curriculum questions, and I had no idea. So it's pretty cool.
Dr.
But
King, we can talk offline now. You might could give me back. We'll talk offline.
Okay, that's what's up.
I will call you Monday.
There we go.
All right. So it's real simple, man. Our mission and vision is all in one. Craigmont Chiefs work every day to create options because we lead, compete, and win in Memphis and beyond. And the reason we're working like that is because it gives us agency. It's not waiting on anybody. It's we work every day. You control how you work, how you show up. You can create options for yourself, whether that's a 2-year school, music, sports, 4-year school, any language you want to learn, like anything you want to do, we want to have. And so the vision is for us to be able to lead, compete, and win in Memphis and beyond. And so when I'm looking at who's coaching, when I'm looking at who's teaching, when I'm evaluating our programs, or do we have leaders? Is that coach or that sponsor a leader? Is that teacher a leader? Can we compete and can we win in Memphis and beyond? And so we say it every day at school. It's on everything that I send out to the teachers each week. And it's just a part of who we are and what we do. And so what that means, what that looks like every day is I told everybody I want us to be a comprehensive high school. I want us to have 1,000 coals in the fire every day. I want to be so busy and so exhausted because we're winning the city championship in bowling over here. The band is traveling here. Basketball is traveling here. Football's got kids going on visits here. Like we deserve to have that. And the talent is at the school. And so a part of this process over this past year has been just getting people to really remember and know like what Craigmont is. And I had no idea about it before I got there, but I've learned and I've met alumni my age. I've met alumni from the 80s who have come to the school and done some things. And so my vision is that every kid at that school has an opportunity to go wherever he or she may want to go, that it does not matter, I want us to get the same response and respect that you get from a East and a Central and a Whitehaven. And I also want to be able to advocate for my building so that the folks at district office answer the first email and answer on the first call like they do some of the other schools in the city. And so Casey knows this. Unfortunately, sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so I'm very squeaky right now. I ask for everything, whether it's lights in the library to getting the floor done. It's just, Craigmont is my life now. Like that's my brand. I'm wearing it. I was at the Bayou Classic wearing Craigmont gear today. Like there was, I could have jumped fresh, but why not? I'm with my kids.
Yeah.
So it's just everything that we're doing. Folks need to see it. Folks need to know about it. The kids need to believe that somebody thinks that they can be great. The teachers need to believe that they didn't just end up teaching at Craigmont, that it's a place that, I'm here because I'm a hell of a teacher, or I need to work to be a hell of a teacher so that I can deserve to stay here. And so the atmosphere is exciting. The atmosphere is pressure filled though. Um, Numbers wise, over the past decade, Craigmont has not produced the numbers that match the talent in the building, if that makes sense. So we haven't been level 3, haven't been level 4, haven't been level 5. That doesn't mean everything's bad. But we know the metrics that the people care about, right? And we know what
Right.
the district says and the state of Tennessee says. But nevertheless, we want to be able to celebrate the fact that we do have kids making 25 and above on ACT, but we're also growing all of our kids, and we're also proficient, and we're signing scholarships, and we have
Mm-hmm.
kids who are not only starting college, but finishing college as well. And so, like I said, everything's up in the air. International trips, FBLA going to nationals, Skills USA going to nationals. Um, we just want people to see whatever you can dream about, whatever you think you want, it's at Craigmont. So we tell everybody pull up to the Pike, which I know
Yes,
Irk has done a
sir.
few times, and I appreciate it. That came organically, like just sitting in the office, and I was like, man, we got to have something. um, and so it just hit and it stuck and it works. And so I think folks have bought into it, and it's exciting, man. And brought back the rivalry with Riley Egypt
Yes,
with the
sir.
Riley Springs Classic. That was a big deal. It was kind of
Yeah.
just a thought I had, and it came together for year one. We didn't win the game, but we're gonna win it next year. We got a
Yeah.
nice trophy.
Yeah.
We got the bands involved. Miss T brought the homecoming parade back this year.
Okay.
So man, we just trying to, have that real high school experience, man, that everybody should have. The one I had in high school that made me fall in love with high school that you guys probably had as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Like I said, I enjoyed it, man. I went to the game actually, the football
Okay.
game, the trophy. That's something new. But we used to call it the brawl for the mall back in the day.
Yeah.
We had them
So
all
we
back in
tried
the
to
day.
we tried to connect with that a little bit
Yeah,
because I
that was.
heard about
Yeah,
that, and
that's
so
definitely
like
what it was.
Riley
That's
Springs
definitely what it was.
Classic,
Yeah.
and the flyer had a picture of the old mall kind of in the background on the
Right.
flyers.
Right. Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was amazing. I saw this. We can ask you some questions, I guess. Anybody
Okay.
can ask a question, but I do want to. I did notice. I went to a website and man, scholarships. Like I remember in '05. I don't remember going to the website and seeing they had 100 scholarships on the website recently. But back in '05, I couldn't. It wasn't there. You had to go really do research and find out. But I do like that y'all have that available for all the students. That's something new that we didn't have back in '05. So I thank you for being part of that, for giving kids the opportunity to look at find scholarships easier, access to get scholarships.
Yeah, so a part of create options is you can say a lot of stuff. Every school has these statements and all these platitudes, but like what goes with it? And so for us, I had to kind of really impart upon our staff, our counselors, our senior sponsors, what does it mean to create options? What does it mean to make sure college signing day looks like it should? And so I had done that work as a vice principal at Southwind and as a vice principal at Ridgeway. So I knew what I wanted to look like. And so a part of that is we have some senior requirements. Like in order for them to participate in events now, they have to do HBCU Common App. They had to do Tennessee Promise. They had to retake ACT. They had to take the ASVAB. And so if we don't, you got to build in the structures, right? Basically make them do the work so they can have the fun. And over time, they realize, like, oh man, I just got a letter from a college I had never thought about. Or I just got some information from a school or a place that I had never thought about. And so making it readily available, so we send it out to the parents and remind, put it on the website. We have a team with every grade level where our counselors and our sponsors post information. So now we're flooding it with information. And so at this point, you can't say Craigmont didn't give this to me. Craigmont didn't make me aware. Now it's willful ignorance if you don't know. And so that's
Right.
all a part of us just changing the conversation in the building and even pushing our underclassmen. We've targeted some kids. We did pre-ACT, and we have some kids in optional because we've revamped optional. And so now we're getting kids to take the ACT now in ninth and 10th grade instead of waiting until semester 6.
Right.
So if you know you're smart and you're excited about being smart before you get jaded and a little too grown, right? Before we get to semester 6, all of a sudden, if I can bank a 21 when I'm 15, you know what I'm saying? Now I feel like I can go further.
Right.
And with the way it works with getting 2 free ones mandatory, plus kids qualify for fee waivers, most of our kids should leave Craigmont having taken the ACT 4 times without having paid for it. So it's trying to change the way we're thinking about playing this game, man.
Yeah, and all those metrics that you just talked about, Dr. King, it's also going to increase your ready graduate rate, right?
Yep.
Because
Mhm.
you're getting opportunities with the ACT, with the ASVAB, with the college applications, advanced courses, and all of that. So that will also help with increasing Craigmont's letter grade, increasing like some of those other metrics that I know the district and state measure you all up against.
Right.
Cool. Anybody got any more questions about his visions and goals?
I don't have a question, but I just want to take my hat off. Well, literally, I take my hat off. Just being able to go to a meeting preschool this year, right before school started. Just hear him talk about his vision and just going to several events since school has been in. Like it's something that I, as an alum, it's the start of something great. I would say that. Like it's something that I've longed for a long time. Matter of fact, I went to the Melrose game last night. And I know we got a long way to go because that's a deep tradition. But like what I saw at Melrose last night is what I envisioned for Craigmont. You know what I'm saying? Like the community support, the alumni support that came out, like it was beautiful. And it's something I've longed for Craigmont because, like I said, I love my alma mater. And so just being around Dr. King these last few months at the events I've been at, like I appreciate what you're doing. And that whatever you need from me personally, like I'm there for sure.
No doubt. I appreciate that.
But like Urshan said, man, I want to say, like Urshan said about the Melrose, the alumni, and just seeing that. Like I've been watching him for years. You know, his work at Craigmont after he's been graduated since 2003, and you still see Urshan.
Well, you ain't got to keep bringing up how old I am, bro. Go ahead.
You've been saying you still see his work. In 2024, he's still working. You know, like I said, the alumni football game, he was there, had the whole tent up, grilling and everything. You know, he brought the alumni together. Had an after party and everything, you know. So he's still working, and you know, it's inspiring, you know. Because like I said, I've been gone 20 years, but it took this year, last year for me to say, man, hey, that's part of Craigmont, part of you, just part of your story. Get back to it, you know what I'm saying? Get back to it, give back your knowledge, come and help, reach out, you know. It's your neighborhood, it's your school, it's your life story, and also with Tony, like I said, Tony, last year you did a band. Fundraiser for the band last year, right? And look at the band right now.
Yeah.
Look at
last year. So I do little events each year and raise money for whatever nonprofit and charity that I see fit. So last year in May, did it for the Craigmont band, and I'm happy to see what they're doing with it. You know, with the little support that I was able to help them with. You know, so proud of that for sure.
Yeah.
So the band, man, it's interesting because, you know, this is year 7 for Mr. Kennedy. So this was in the works way before I got there. But I've got an interesting background because I played football and baseball in high school, but I also did band and choir. So I've kind of got this interesting perspective where I've been a part of really good programs in the fine arts and athletically. And so I just kind of hit it off with Mr. Kennedy. So I could come in and say, hey, I think y'all should use this kind of method book, or, you know, I did this when I was in high school. These are the things I've seen. And so, but he's our age as well. And so we kind of connect on that. But we made a decision at the end of the school year to move the band from what you guys, I guess, may have called the junior high band room on the main floor back downstairs to the main band room. And so he was like, man, I put so much work into this and we got all these rooms set up. And I was like, listen, man, you're growing. You just take the whole bottom. You got both sides. You know, you got as much space as you need. So they made that move. The kids moved all the trophies and the equipment, and the parents and the kids were painting down there all summer. We had an alum who's class of 2016 who painted the hallway outside. So when you pass ROTC and you're going toward the band room, there's a big, super nice painting. And then she also just did a new mural inside the band room just last week. And so they've taken control of that space just within this semester. So the band, we got the Save the Music grant. So we worked on that here at the beginning of the semester. And so what that allows for us to do with Save the Music Foundation is we're going to have a music production class now. And so we're going to have about $50,000-$60,000 worth of equipment that'll be brought to the school. And there'll be a class that Mr. Kennedy teaches that's all focused on music production, podcast production, etc. And so, along with that, the band they won the Southern Heritage Classic Battle of the Bands, and
Right.
they were able to do the pregame show at the game. And then the football schedule set up well this year to where we had Central and Whitehaven, two natural band rivals. So we were able to get some really good battles in during the season. And of course, we got the invite to the Bayou Classic back in September. We were like, okay, this wasn't on the agenda. How are we gonna make it work? Because you get invited places, they never send you money to get to the
Cost
place,
money.
right?
Mhm.
But thankfully, because of the momentum we've gained, we got our new board member. She was able to allocate some money for us to get some new windsuits for the band. And then we had a couple other things come in to where we were able to absorb some of the costs to get the band down here. It came together in like a month, and the band came down here and showed up in the Superdome, y'all. Like, I know people have seen videos and pictures, but it's different, right? To be down here in the Superdome with 140 kids or whatever we have,
Man.
and you got parents that traveled, and it's like, oh my God, like this is real. Like this is Craigmont on the screen at the Superdome, and then to win it. And a part of that, you get the big trophy, you get the notoriety, but we also got is $30,000 worth of percussion equipment that was also a part of the grand prize that will be sent to the school on Monday.
That's
So
That's
dope,
what's
man.
up.
it's
That's what's up.
it's amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing, and I think it's twofold. The band is growing, but most of the kids in the band are exceptional scholars, and so a lot of them are in our optional program. And what it's also done, it's allowed us to spread our footprint. So we've got our natural feeder with Craigmont Middle, but I told the superintendent a few weeks ago that every school in the city is now our feeder. Mr. Kennedy, we got like about 10 kids from Treadwell this past year, Colonial, Snowden, like kids want to be at Craigmont now. And so
Man, it's amazing.
I think it's huge because anytime the enrollment grows, our staffing model changes, we get more Title I money, we can do more for our school on the whole. But it's just, we're gonna ride this wave, no pun intended, with Sunami and Sound. But I appreciate, anything you guys have done in the past to support the band, share things. I mean, it's crazy to see on YouTube just the amount of views they have. There are
Right.
folks who have reaction videos to Craigmont. We're
Wow.
just talking about so I mean, if you go and just go to YouTube and search, Craigmont band reaction video, you'll see folks from around the country talking about what's happening at the Pike. So it's a good time, man, for sure.
I'm
Man,
for sure
that's
that's exciting. That's exciting. And then, Dr. King, you have something that we didn't have when we were there, right? So you have the opportunity to really make Craigmont a community school. At the time that all of us went, Douglas High School was still closed. And
Mhm.
so
Hmm.
all of the
yeah.
students from Douglas were bused to Craigmont. So it was Raleigh and Douglas inside of Craigmont. You already know when different neighborhoods are in the same space, just how that can go. So it's exciting that one who has the opportunity to establish like a true community school, but you also have programs that people from all over the city want to be a part of. So that's very exciting to hear because that's just a part of like how we grew up in Craigmont and just like everybody came for different reasons, but we're just a
Mhm.
melting pot of students all there together. And I know like Erskine and I, we worked on a project with like Dominique Frost and Diamond Taylor and Keela
Cheers.
Jones called Cheers for Craigmont.
Mhm.
So we helped to raise the money that reopened the planetarium because that was something that we used to have, when we were there and were excited about as well. So I'm just happy to hear all of these things that and the things that you have in store for Craigmont and wanting to bring it back and also recognizing that Craigmont was a gym. Craigmont is still a gym in the community. It may be a little rough, a little dusty right now, but we know that you will help to bring it back to what it once was. So that's
Man,
exciting.
you know what? It's weird to be in a building with no windows.
All
Like
my
it.
classes have windows. I don't know what they talking about. My class have windows.
Well, it's so you work all day, and you have
Right.
no idea what the weather's like until dismissal. Like some days I'm like, oh, I didn't know the sun was out. I was like, man, I didn't know it was storming outside because
Yeah.
you can just get in that building and get lost in what you're doing. But to walk into a school that has a planetarium is crazy, right?
Right.
Nobody has that, and so to have learned about what previous classes had done to get it restored. We have an amazing teacher there, Mr. Oleg, who runs the planetarium, and so he and I were just talking before the break about some more upgrades that he's looking at getting done. We use the planetarium. So he has the Earth and Space Science class that he teaches that uses that space every day. But we also, Earth came to an event. We had a meet the principal event. So whenever we do open house, we start in the planetarium. We're going to have the state of the school district coming through in January. So they're going to use the planetarium for that. Um, but also, it was cool. Actually, the class of '84 came back for their reunion back in September, and they repainted the mural outside of the planetarium.
Really.
And so, yeah, it's been updated. It's super nice. And it's been great to just, connect. I know class of '83 did a lot of fundraising as well. And so they've got some money in school seed that we've been able to tap into as well to do some work in the planetarium. So I love that space. It's really cool. And what we also have begun to do, we actually had Craigmont Middle. They brought over their quarter 1 honor roll and perfect attendance students for a drink and popcorn and movie in the planetarium. And so I learned after you meet people and say, hey, we used to do field trips here. We used to do field trips here. And so now we're going to begin reaching out as a recruiting tool for middle schools to bring their eighth graders over to do an eighth grade day at Craigmont, see the planetarium, see the building. So, I treat this thing like the SEC. We always recruiting. And at some point, we're going to pull up on somebody or they're going to pull up on us.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
look, speaking of pulling up, Dr. King, all of us, like we said, we support the school and we still want to see it thrive. So how can we, as alumni, and for the alumni that will see this, like how can we pull up to the Pike and support?
So there are multiple ways. I think the easiest way is to, come to events, come to basketball games, come to football games, just see people, meet people. And there's an opportunity for folks to serve as mentors for our students. I think one of the missing links we have with our college and career readiness right now is having internship opportunities for our students. Like we talk about dual enrollment, we talk about AP, but it's different kind of really seeing a career beyond having taken a CCTE class. And not everybody does something in CCTE. So how do we begin to build a network of Craigmont folks who are leading, competing, and winning in Memphis and beyond so that our students can tap into, whether that's, a genius talk in person, virtual genius talks, mentor meet days, like that can look a bunch of ways. So I know that's something that's not necessarily, there's not a cost to that, right? I'm not asking you to dig in your pocket or go in your account. On the other hand, we started a capital campaign in September for athletics. And so when I got to Craigmont, one of my first questions after reviewing academic data was show me the weight room. And I was like, no, this ain't it. Like nobody deserves to come to this. I mean, even if you don't get new weights, you can reupholster a bench, right? Like there's money somewhere. There's a auntie, cousin, grandma somewhere that'll reupholster it if you can't take it to a company. So for me, I'm always looking for a way to just enhance what we're doing. And so we have our capital campaign, and our initial goal, first phase, is to get our weight room redone. So we have a donor who's an alum who's committed to matching $100,000. So $100,000 gets raised. That alum will match that. And so right now we've had some contributions. I haven't checked the link in the past couple of weeks, so I don't know what the number's up to, but we've had some donations come in. And so this first phase is going to be so that we can get a renovated weight room. Um, there were holes in the concrete and everything up there. So I've actually gotten the district to come out and fix those. So now we're ready to get the money where we needed to. We're working on a couple of mock-ups. And then once those get approved, we'll be able to actually get rolling. Perfect world, we have a new weight room by spring break. Stretch goal is that we have it by the end of the school year. And so that's the first phase. The second phase of that, with the weight room on the other side, if you remember above the gym, that other space that was kind of like a weight room, we want to make that an indoor hidden facility
Okay.
so that our baseball and softball kids can work despite, whatever the weather may be. Tennis could also use it, other sports, and it can still be a fitness area as well. And then ultimately, I'm still trying to figure out who to push and who to get to. We need a stadium, and that's
Okay.
more than a
Okay.
couple $1,000s.
Okay.
But I'm sick of going to Raleigh, Egypt, and I've only been at Craig for a year.
Man.
I don't like going over there, especially when there's so much acreage on our
Man.
campus.
A lot
Like I
of it.
walked back there and I was like, what's going on here? School's been up since the early 70s. We got a big old practice field, a baseball field, extra grass and some more
Yeah.
grass and some more grass and then some more grass. And I was like, no, we need a stadium. And
Right.
so that's the long term goal. I think we got to find the right people to push, the right board members, superintendent, county commissioner, whomever, Craigmont alum, Riley alum. I don't know whoever these people are, but I think that the community would love that, would support it, and I think it just matters, that we should have our own stadium. And so
Facts.
that's the long term goal. And of course, I know momentum gets going faster when you have some academic gains, and so that'll come as well. But yeah, man, pulling up to the Pike right now is however you can connect to make sure that our kids have a chance to see what it is on the other side of graduation. I've told the seniors graduation is fun and I like it, but I'm more excited about college signing day.
Mm.
That's when you know that you really put yourself in position to compete. And so, but we have to be able to build next level athletes, and you can't do it with what we got, right? We got
Right.
to be able to
Right.
build next level scholars, and so I'm pushing the teachers. We have to be able to have, facilities where the kids show up and appreciate and see that somebody cares about what they're coming to 9 through 12, so that they can have bigger visions of what it looks like beyond graduation as well. So that's where
Right.
we are right now. And yeah, man, anytime somebody wants to come up and see how we work, come any day, anytime. There's no dog and pony show. We have all of the stuff that happens at every other high school, but we also have a lot of the good and special things that you might not see anywhere else.
Right. Right. I love it. I love it. Like everybody, if you see this QR code, scan the QR code. And, support the neighborhood, the community. Support your high school. Or if you didn't go to the high school, you from the neighborhood. All right, just you from Memphis. Support these kids. Like I said, Dr. King doing big things in Memphis right now, especially Craigmont and Raleigh area. So, man, like I said, just help out the school, help out the future of Memphis, the kids, man. So, just give from the heart. Give what you can. But the more we get, the faster we can get to this weight room. I remember the weight room. I guess it's the same weight room we had back 20 years ago. It sounded like it. And
It, yeah, yeah,
but I remember how it looks, and I can only imagine 20 years later.
yeah. It's nothing has changed, unfortunately, and that's not good enough.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I remember like you said, the yard. Man, you got the hills, the soccer field. I mean, I still, my nephew still run them hills. We might go up there one week and go run the hills because I remember track season. I used to run them hills all day. But that thing, hey, that hill got you a lot of work in. So, hey man, support the school. Anybody want to add to this? All right, then. Like I said, support the school, support the capital campaign. Pull up to the Pike. I'm gonna pull up to the Pike soon, actually. Right, December 18th. I'll see you then, Dr. King. Uh, I want to get to the reunion announcements for our '05 people who watching. Um, if we got no current news right now, but we do have, like I said, Instagram page. Our contacts is the bottom. Our email, Craigmont2005 at Gmail. We got a YouTube page. Y'all can check out our podcasts at YouTube, Craigmont Class of 2005 on YouTube. Have an Instagram page, Craigmont05 Chiefs. Anything you want to add, Casey, to the reunion news?
No, I know the subcommittees are going to be picking back up after the holidays, so just be on the lookout for more information in your emails.
All right, cool. And also, like I said, y'all visit Craigmont website, donate support, www.schools.sk12.org/Craigmont High School. I appreciate all y'all for coming. Like I said, for our class, we started off this thing with prayer, and that's how we've been doing. Me, Casey, got together with a couple other people. Yeah, we started our committee, and we pray every time. So if y'all don't mind, just join us in the prayer, and we're gonna head out. But before we head out, I do got a special video for everybody. So just stay after the show, and then we're gonna show you the video. Okay? Y'all mind bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to see another day and the opportunity to come together. It was not promised. We're so grateful to be here in this moment, and just so thankful for everyone here right now for taking the time out their day to be a part of a greater cause for Craigmont High School. That will forever be a part of us, each of our stories, no matter if it was 20 years ago, 20 years from now. It's forever part of us. So, Lord, we are so thankful for you giving us the mind to remember. Memories are what makes us so, we're so thankful for you giving us that mind to give back to the place and things that made us so who we are today. So our faith is with you, and we will continue to support you and through our spirit, move through your spirit, and as we continue to push forward and for your kingdom. Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Craigmont Chiefs 05, last class with class before y'all head out.
Whoa.
I mean, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
Whoa.
Tony, it was that middle school. Once y'all start going to that new middle school, when y'all came back down,
do me like that.
what is
Hey, you messed my outro up. You messed the outro up, okay? But it's all good. We still love you, man.
We are the last class with class, and I know that Tony came a class after us, but if he is being honest with himself, he knows that after the class of 2005, the records will show you too, the data, all of that. After the class of 2005,
this is
after
facts.
this, pull up the records. I want to. We can look at the numbers.
We're the last
man.
class.
Look at the numbers.
Check the numbers. We were the last class with class. All right, Ryan, take us to that.
But like I said, shout out to first I want to give shout outs to everybody who showed up. Erskine, the cat, Tony, Dr. King, I appreciate you. Also special shout out to Keela Jones, class of 2000. Came in my class with my sister. So special shout out to her. And also I want to say a shout out to Renatia Carter. I asked her to use a video today from the Sunami of Sounds, the Craigmont band. They're doing big things. They had a competition in New Orleans this past weekend. The Dr. King is right. He's there currently right now. Like I said, I talked to him this morning, text him. He said he was in New Orleans. He said he's still going to show up for the podcast. So I appreciate you for doing that, man. I really do. And so everybody just sit back, man. Watch the Craigmont, the Sunami of Sound, play the song in New Orleans at the Superdome. The Superdome. That's amazing. All right. So I'm going to head out with this right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, from all the way from the Pacific. Now, I can't sing, but I promise you, this is about to be the most beautiful piece played tonight. Superior rating, average GPA of a 3.75, 19.2 million in scholarship. This is the Craigmont Sunami of Sound playing Luther Vandross. House is not a home. Sunami sound.
It's just what I noticed. Something got me out there.